Obi Trice, real name, no gimmicks.
Oh man, we are going through these Fritzes like Drano.
I've had like 3 sips of mine. I don't know.
I'm on my second one already. So
Oh
yeah.
wait, seriously?
Yeah.
When did you finish the first one?
Ages ago.
For those who don't know, Fritz is a soda pop.
It's a sody pop. That's what it's called.
A mineral. There's several.
Mineral.
A mineral. Yeah.
Mineral.
Like
Mineral.
Wasser, mineral fizzy drinks.
Fizzy. I love that.
A cola, a soda. I don't know.
So many words.
Well,
these
a
we
things.
call
Coke.
we call it limonade. Everything.
I hate the German word
It's
for
not
it.
even lemonade. We don't care. We just call it limonade.
Oh, no, the worst one is the Scots call it juice.
That's not juice.
It's not juice.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but it makes it sound way healthier. It's like this is why this country has like
Oh, you want
obesity and health problems.
You want a juice? You want a Dr. Pepper juice?
Yeah, but that also results in
The
like
pepper fruit.
that also results in one of the cutest Scottish slang things I've ever heard, which is their term for tap water, council juice.
What?
Council juice.
Tap water,
State sanctioned juice.
as in like from the county council. Yeah, council juice.
That's weird.
Why?
'Cause it's the juice from the council.
Dr. Pepper flows from the tap.
You turn on the tap and you're juicing the sweet
Council
teas of the
juice.
council.
Oh, that's disgusting to
That
think
is
of.
disgusting.
Council juice.
Ew.
But
So-
I kind of wanted to start with my favorite bit of news that has happened this week that is so ridiculous.
It's also become very European.
It has.
time.
Oh yeah,
'cause
finally.
We haven't. We've barely talked about Jordan Peterson because there's really been no need to, because he hasn't.
He was
really,
in a coma. There was nothing to talk about.
Yeah. He hasn't really been doing anything lately.
He hasn't been on TV since 2019.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he also just like his European impact is like really small, for the most part. At least in like
Not on the
non-English
internet.
True. Yeah. But I'm not, he doesn't do like tours in Europe or whatever.
No.
Stuff like that.
He probably,
Not-
if he was still
Maybe tours of hospitals now. But
Yeah, right.
In Europe.
He's doing a tour of Europe of sorts at the moment. But like, I know, I remember when I was leaving like Scotland in like 2018, like there were people in pubs reading, what was his book called?
50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, it was finally reached Scotland.
Was it like 12 steps to be in
12
a...
rules of life?
Cleaning your room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 steps of cleaning your room or some bullshit.
Nice.
Yeah, like that was like, I was seeing more like young guys in Ireland and Scotland, like either reading that book or listening to like the audio tape on YouTube.
They're probably also Proud
yeah.
Boys or something like that. Don't you have a lot of Proud Boys
Well, this
there?
is the thing that's... this is the thing about Jordan Peterson is that his message itself is like the most boring message on the face
Clean
of the
your
earth.
room.
Of like, exactly. Of just like, you got to, take control of your life. But then when it gets to like the feminist stuff is when it's like, okay, like, or like his Marxist postmodernism.
Yeah.
Like, but I think like the 12
Very
Rules of Life book
fascinating Marxist
doesn't say
postmodernism.
anything. There's nothing in that about his bizarre fucking politics.
But there were a lot of people, I mean, like...
No, the 12 Rules of Life did have that fucking like chaos dragon graph in it and stuff like that. It got weird at points. But you're right, like the whole shtick of his was just like, rule number 1, take control of your own life. It's like, yeah, sure, okay.
Rule number 12,
2,
pet every cat you see,
Yeah.
which is a good
Oh,
rule.
that's
that's
a
a
good
cute
rule.
rule. Rule number 3, all women contain chaos dragons. It's like, okay.
Oh, what? Wait, what?
This is
Okay.
this is I don't like the mood this playlist is putting out.
He's really scared of, like, messy stuff, right?
Yeah, rule number 7,
So,
there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger.
Oh, that turned interesting.
Oh,
No,
I can do a
like-
Jordan Peterson impression. That's right. It's one of the impressions I can do. It's like that and Sonic.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not,
No, but I
as
mean,
you
like
can hear,
cleaning
mine
your
isn't very
room
good.
and some chaos stuff, and
Yeah.
he seems really, but yeah, he seems really scared of.
I see these kids
Messy,
come up
dirty
to me with
stuff.
tears in their eyes and they say, I just want to party rock.
Yeah, so Jordan Peterson's daughter has been trying to kill him.
I mean, someone has to.
Mikhaila Peterson. Mikhaila.
It's Mikhaila, I think, just
Mikhaila.
spelled dumb because
Yeah,
Jordan
just
Peterson.
Mikhaila.
Because someone like predestined that she would just be a weird club goer in Eastern Europe at some point.
Yes.
Isn't her mom Russian though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why she's called Mikhaila.
There you go. I did not know that.
Oh, there you go.
That does explain why there's so many like fucked Russian vibes about this whole family.
That's why. Well, no, that's not why they took. But yeah, they have a lot of Russian stuff going on there.
Okay, so the story ends up with them being in Serbia, and as soon as I just saw the images,
The better Russia.
Imagine Russia without all the power and stuff.
Exactly.
Serbia. No, it did strike me when I just saw the picture of her in the Serbian club. I was like, while Dragosta Dinte by Ozone plays.
Oh my God, yes, that was my favorite part of the whole.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, this makes sense now. This all just clicked into place.
Oh, it's a great song. Come on.
It is a great song.
Yeah, we
sure,
did several versions of that, and we needed them the same summer.
But you like in a little black cocktail dress, like obviously taking this club life seriously, like. You know, if I go to a club and they're playing Dragosta Dinte, I'm in like a t-shirt and cargo shorts jumping around, like putting on a country accent while Gold Digger by Kanye West plays, just being like, she ain't a gold digger. Just like jumping up and down for no reason.
Yeah.
That kind of club vibe. Like, she's doing very like serious, like Sex in the City, dignified, look at the drink in my hand.
Yeah, at like a club that you're told to by like a fucking shoddy ass like hostel promoter in like the Czech Republic. That's like, if you go on the bar crawl with us, you'll end up at this club at the end of the day.
This is amazing. It's an amazing place. It's amazing. We had so much fun.
Yeah, Gusta Dinte up next. The Venga Boys are coming after that.
Literally,
Eiffel 65.
exactly.
Then we repeat those 3 songs again.
The Venga Boys are great, okay?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. They played a concert in Austria.
Yes,
they
they are Austrian. Yeah.
They're anti-fascist protest.
Yes, good.
Yeah. Okay.
Was that this year or last year?
Who even remembers?
Election. That was during the.
Oh, that was last year.
Gate.
Yeah,
because they were playing. We're going to Ibiza.
Yeah. But they should play it. The Venga Boys are coming.
I'm assuming they did afterwards. I don't think they got that stage.
And it should
set
be
up
the
for
anthem of like anti-fascist protests.
That would literally be better than most Antifa songs that exist. So yeah,
it's an unfortunate fact.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't know
why they have to turn everything into like reggaeton.
Everything's either really bad reggaeton or it's really bad lyrical miracle rap.
So
or both.
I'm sorry, but like the left needs to embrace the tactic of just sheer absurdity, like burning cars, pushing back against cops in like a Hamburg G20 protest style thing, and then suddenly
I love that. I want that. That's the future that we want.
Throwing a flaming brick.
I mean, it already kind of exists with like the Gen Zers like just being obsessed with 100 gex.
Yeah. Or no, that Chilean protest. When the protests were going off in Chile, and then there was just the like footage of them like throwing Molotov cocktails at the police while someone was playing on amplified sax the Neon Evangelion.
Oh yeah, true.
Like, all right, yeah, cool.
That's fucking amazing. I know what's going on there. That's so fucking impressive.
Yeah, it's great. All right, so do we want to go through this whole thing?
Yes.
Okay. So. Mikhaila started the Lion Diet, which consists of only eating beef, salt, and water. Ooh.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
How dehydrated are you after?
Does she not realize she's not a lion?
Lions eat more than that. Isn't the thing?
Yeah.
Like, if lions don't eat the stomachs of animals and all the, like, half-digested, like, food.
Exactly.
They fucking die. Okay, although this verges on an eating disorder, Mikhaila claimed that it cured many of her health problems. She even announced that she'd stopped taking her medications, including an anti-herpes drug.
Oh.
This is important later, I guess. She then convinced her father to start her diet. Soon after starting, Jordan reported that he stopped taking his antidepressants.
I stopped taking my antidepressants.
Not a good idea, probably.
I see my daughter come to me with tears in her eyes saying, "Dad, just eat beef, salt, and water."
Just make a fucking smoothie of that every morning.
Yeah. So I think most people would know this as the Jordan Peterson all meat diet.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't his idea, though.
Wasn't his
Behind a
idea.
strong man, there's always a crazy dog. No.
There's always your insane herpes-riddled daughter. Oh, that's deeply unfair. But still, but like the lion diet, I guess. I don't think she was unhappy about her dad's like name being attached to this. I guess I think she's fine with it. All right. It was around this time that Peterson reported not being able to sleep for 25 days straight. While experiencing
That's healthy.
while experiencing a quote overwhelming sense of impending doom after drinking some apple cider.
I think that was from not taking his meds, but okay.
Oh my god.
Yes, this is all coming out on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh, that's the best place for that kind of stuff.
I understand the Joe Rogan.
Damn,
podcast.
that's crazy. You didn't sleep for 25 days? How is that possible?
Jamie, pull that up.
Have you tried DMT?
It's like they just put up the footage of like
Paranormal activity.
the like candid Big Brother camera they have of Jordan Peterson's room at night.
Oh my god.
Jordan Peterson's life is actually just like an MTV reality show from the mid-2000s.
Oh yeah, it's like tonight on the Jordan Peterson show, we go to Serbia with his daughter. All right. It was because of this anxiety caused by a severe autoimmune reaction to food, quotes, that Jordan was prescribed benzodiazepine.
Yeah, benzodiazepines. Sorry.
You started really getting into Lil Peep.
Which was increased after his wife was diagnosed with cancer. This led to Peterson developing a physical dependence on the medication. Sure.
Yeah.
According to Mikhaila,
That happens with benzos.
Exactly.
yeah. According to Mikhaila, after multiple failed rehab attempts, which she claims almost killed him, Peterson was
Not if I have anything to say about it.
She said she would finally find something that actually kills him.
they didn't do a good enough job. No, it was like the rehab attempts did almost killed him. Unlike, they tried to feed him like a carrot or something. Peterson was moved to Russia for, quote, alternative treatments. The unknown treatment put Peterson into a medically induced coma for 8 days and gave him neurological damage.
How is that an alternative treatment to put someone in a coma? I thought alternative treatment would be something like herbs or something like that. I don't know, or like a tea or meditation.
This is the thing.
Not putting someone in a medical induced coma.
I asked my sister about this because my sister's a pharmacist, and she was like, "Why the fuck would?" Because like the idea of it was that then they would put him into a coma, a medically induced coma, to then have his body like not have get over the withdrawals, and then he'd wake up out of the coma not having the worst part of it done,
Yeah.
Try
which is incredibly
hypnosis
stupid.
It's cold. It's being unconscious for going cold turkey, basically.
Yeah, but then my sister was like, but like the type of benzos that he was on don't have that like bad of a reaction if you just go cold turkey off him. It isn't like Xanax, which will fucking kill you because you develop a dependency. The reason that people get prescribed this one is because getting off of it isn't nearly as bad as some other higher what's it called, like more powerful drugs. So she found that hilarious that was the method that they were taking.
So here's a picture of him and his daughter in Moscow.
Fashion.
So like he's not like posting anything. The only way to find out what's going on with him is to follow his daughter on Instagram. But this is from the National Post. He has neurological damage and a long way to go to full recovery. He is taking anti-seizure medication and cannot type or walk unaided, but is on the mend. And his sense of humor has returned. Classic Jordan Peterson sense of humor. Great.
A feminist and a Marxist and a postmodernist walk into a bar.
We're all the same.
That's actually funny. I hate
Oh my god.
Kermit the Frog's humor is weird now. In the middle of her father's hospitalization, Mikhaila left her husband and dad to travel around Romania with Andrew Tate. a misogynist pickup artist and webcam pimp who runs a scam website and thinks that depression doesn't exist. Sick.
He's a great guy. His Twitter name is Senders of Wodan, and his name is
Mr. Plenty.
Mr. Plenty.
Oh, I thought it was Big Dick 420 or something.
Here he is. He's wearing a monk's
cool.
And carries a sword.
I like how he's...
Wait, wrong color then if he's carrying a sword, just saying.
His head and neck looks like a worm.
It'd have to be gray.
Oh, so he's a fighting monk, huh? Yeah.
It looks like a worm.
He always posts stuff of women saying "Oh my God, you're so you're so great," and it's basically just him bragging that he's a multimillionaire and an alpha, and he also fled the police in Germany and left his 2 cars there because he got into an accident.
Oh.
And
he crashed his first car into his second car. No, I don't have insurance coming. I have to run before they ask for details.
Oh shit! I think there's something going on. You will die alone. Oh my God! I went too deep. No, but basically he was posting a lot of his cars and saying how he ditched them because he's so rich he can just buy a new one and he can just change his name. So he basically just admitted to
several crimes.
Yeah, several crimes on Twitter and saying and then there's another
on
one.
On Twitter, which is then on his name, is it not? People know his actual name.
Of course,
Yo, I could fucking change my name if I wanted to.
Let me tell you, his pronouns are king and god.
Clever joke.
Yeah, very funny.
Yeah. The oh god. So the great thing that I like about this is to our German listeners, if we're now starting the Corner Späti treasure hunt for find this guy's abandoned cars and you get to keep them. They're somewhere in Germany, I guess. But yeah.
One more fun thing because it could be important for what comes up. He doesn't believe in COVID-19.
Oh yeah.
Because he was on a train in Germany because his cars were sacked, with his dudes, and they couldn't get a beer from the food cart. So he was recording a little video about him being upset about it, saying oh, this is bullshit, the pussies in Germany. And as soon as they...
Nothing is literally more pussy than complaining about wearing a cloth mask.
Yeah, not getting beer from the food cart.
Oh God. I love the conservative uproar about not wearing a mask because they're like, sir, my grandfather did not die on the beaches of Normandy, so I'd have to wear a mask. And it's like, wait, what?
Well, his grandfather didn't die at the beaches of Normandy because when he transgressed to into Prague, Czech Republic, he said, these are the real men, the Eastern European men, and that is why they're always better than the Western Europeans. And he did a big thing about Eastern European
He's a Stalinist.
They did have a discussion about Stalin, him and Mikhaila.
Yeah, okay. I think I remember that coming up.
He's an assball?
I'm not sure.
I wanted to see if I could get his website with the various courses on it, because I wanted to see his website is garbage and it's got a bunch of so it's one of these very hyper masculine kind of dating websites because it's I opened the burger menu, the menu for where all the different shit is because I want to navigate to courses. But of course, nothing is called the courses page or anything. It's called the War Room.
Oh my God.
Andrew Tate's War Room is an exclusive members only club with over 11 verified millionaires. Interesting. How much to join?
$1 million. There's only 11 people in the fucking group.
I don't even know if that guy has money.
So here's some of his courses. Hustlers University.
I got my degree from Hustlers University. Don't you dare speak.
How dare he take that name? What do you guys think the price for doing the Hustlers University courses?
I'm assuming American university prices of $20,000 a year.
375. Okay, so weirdly enough, this is in pounds.
Okay,
but £1,099.
Why was I so cheap?
Yeah, right.
I didn't know. I didn't know there was British prices of university.
To
Okay.
join Hustler, the picture on Hustlers University is him smoking a cigar.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. God mode, the elite playboy tactics of Tristan Tate. So, price.
£500.
No, that's more. Because it's like, it's him. Like,
Okay.
it's 5,000.
So apparently this is only half as good as Hustlers University.
No!
It is £500.
Sorry, I'm a woman. I don't understand of these things.
I don't get numbers. 499.
£499 to become, what was it, God mode?
God mode, the elite playboy tactics
Oh,
of
that's
Tristan
the
Tate.
cheap way to become God.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap, yeah, right? That picture to entice you there is him in a jacuzzi while a woman lights his cigar for him.
Shit! So first you learn the basics how you light your own cigar.
I don't understand why that's like 1,000 though. Okay, OnlyFans fortunes.
So just him just jacking off in front of a camera?
Is it him making money on OnlyFans?
I don't know.
There are OnlyFans you can use for other things. Like, I think our brains have been so polluted
Well,
that we
I've
assume
never
that
seen
it's only
other
for
things.
sex
We're
work.
all very horny. But no, the picture is just the OnlyFans logos with like
A cigar.
Click
the
on it.
OnlyFans logo smoking a cigar. It's just got the word fortunes written underneath it. The course costs 1,400 British pounds.
Damn.
This is the most expensive course so far.
Wait, is he British?
Andrew Tate, yeah, possibly. That's a
Then why is he jacking off for Eastern European men?
no. That's very UK energy as well.
Ask Milo.
Yeah.
He lived in Russia for 3 years or whatever.
And then the last course that I have here is broadcasts Tate's $1 million system. So how much do you think the $1 million system
$1 million.
cost? 1,300 British pounds.
That is not $1 million.
No,
He's a
but
fucking
you
liar.
but like, think of how much money you're saving. You put down 1,300 pounds.
You get $1 million
You get
back
$1 million,
in
which is
pussy.
like $1 million, which is like something like 900 something thousand. Yeah, so that's Andrew Tate's
Yes.
course.
He is American British.
Oh, no.
Oh, there you go. That's a powerful combination. There he is with Mikhaila lighting a cigar.
Of course. But his trainer was Amir Subasic. So maybe
His trainer in like what? In pickup artistry?
in
How did we
cruiserweight kickboxer, mixed martial arts.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There has to be
And he
some
was
MMA
fighting
shit
out
behind
of
this.
he was fighting out of Bucharest. So
Well, they were exploring Romania together, Romania and Serbia and stuff like that. I know I like the idea now that I know that he's like an MMA guy, that's his like secret to picking up women is just to beat the shit.
yeah.
All right. A side note, Mikhaila's husband, who I guess she's still married to.
Nice.
She's left him, but they're still married.
They're remarried or something.
Oh,
like
that's
that.
right. I saw that.
Yeah, she left him for like after a year or something, and then they got back together because he's such a
Don't they want to
sweetheart?
like
I don't
preserve
know.
the like traditional Western like thing?
What?
Don't they want to like preserve like the traditional Western household and shit like that?
Maybe.
This
Well, I
is-
mean, traditional Western household. He's Russian.
So, but they still think that whatever. Never mind.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I know.
But
what you
like,
mean.
okay, so this is where the Stalin thing came in because it's the husband who she would argue with Stalin about.
Oh shit! Not with
Yeah.
Andrew.
Yeah, and Andre
And
is the name of her husband.
shit, there's something going on with.
Yeah, Andre. God, I wish Jordan Peterson's name was Andrew. That would just be icing on the cake. But it's not. But anyway, yeah, when Andrea and I met, we argued about Stalin all night. I think he's been brainwashed. He disagrees and accuses me of the same.
Does he love Stalin or?
I have to assume.
Because I don't imagine Mikhaila loving.
Petersons probably are anti-Stalin.
Mikhaila, whatever.
Yeah. They're
Yes.
probably anti-Stalin. He's probably like...
Maybe he is a.
Yeah,
Stalinist.
he's a nostalgic for the
Wait,
US
Stalin
Army.
nostalgia is super normal in Russia.
I know it
yeah,
is,
so,
yeah.
I mean, let's not get our fucking hopes up.
But it's possible for Russians to like Stalin without any like of
without
communism
being
or-
being.
Okay, yeah. The other interesting thing about this guy, though, is Mikhaila's husband is from Russia, claims to be possessed by a demon named Igor, and is the one who helped Mikhaila get her dad into Russia.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
The entire time, Mikhaila was charging people $50 to $600 for memberships to her diet website that offered virtually nothing. The site is now defunct for a second time and was basically just a support group for people claiming that the diet cured them. But does it work for anyone? A lot of people on Twitter yelling at her. It was MikhailaPeterson.com/Lion Club for the Lion Diet.
What's so funny?
There's someone like yelling at someone just tweeting at Mikhaila, being like, "Wait, $50 Canadian per month? I'm paying £47 per month for this. Please tell me I've made a mistake." You have made a mistake. All right.
Sorry.
When it apparently didn't work for her father, as we have already seen, it didn't work for her because she admitted that she also took anti-anxiety drugs while on her diet. And it didn't help her mother, who was on the diet and was diagnosed with kidney cancer requiring 2 surgeries. So, yeah, the diet didn't work for anyone in her family. Surprise, surprise, because it's just beef, salt, and water.
Can't tell me that they were only eating that.
No, they definitely weren't. Anyway, after Peterson finished his treatment in Russia, they went to Florida and eventually ended up in Serbia.
That's so rude. Like, you go to first you go to Russia, then you go to Florida, then you go to
Florida
Serbia.
of Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
After Peterson finished his treatment in Russia, they went to Florida and eventually Serbia, where Mikhaila gave her entire family COVID, hospitalizing Jordan.
Here, you get a COVID. You get a COVID.
While she was in that club, like, wasn't like the caption like,
Yeah, it
I
was
don't know,
like-
I don't know what this COVID thing
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
whatever.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so stupid. I love this. I love this family.
Yeah. So here's her Facebook post, if you want to.
I read it.
I had COVID-19. Good start. This is what I looked like during it, although there were definitely rougher looking, puffier days.
Look, I'm still cute and sexy,
Yeah.
guys.
I do those posts all the time. As if this year couldn't get any weirder, my family caught coronavirus in Belgrade.
Oh, that's really weird.
Crazy life, guys.
Right.
This is my mom, and this is my dad, and this is me.
We all have coronavirus.
And my life, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Just because it's in
Oh
two
my God,
places.
yes. Well, that's actually interesting because, it relates to one of the topics we were talking about because it was during the
protests.
A bit like before because they were going out before when nothing was closed.
Yes, yeah.
So during the parliamentary election time.
Yeah, where everything was open because it was like, it's all good.
Yeah,
Don't worry
exactly.
about it.
Nothing changed.
No,
It's the
it's
same
fine.
cases.
Oh God, that graph is just cursed. The number of cases that occurred in Serbia during the supposed "it's all fine" time was just like
Super stable.
it's very
Super
legitimate. Long story short, we got to Belgrade and the country was completely open. No masks necessary.
Nope.
A month later, everything shut down again after elections.
See, what did I tell you?
Politics, parentheses. We all went back into quarantine because we're with my dad and he's high risk. He already had pneumonia this year. 10 days into strict quarantine.
I'm slowly killing him. I'm slowly murdering my father.
Yeah.
Will COVID just finally fucking kill him?
By the way, does anyone know where to get an IV drip bag of COVID? 10 days outside into 10 days into strict quarantine, and I mean strict. We didn't go outside of the property. My toddler got symptoms of a flu, swiftly followed by the rest of us. Turns out a lot of people in Belgrade caught it. Oh God. Yeah, so it's a lot of just like weird, yeah. But then this Instagram story is pretty good of her just at a club saying,
Yeah, that is the one.
coronavirus, ? Never heard of it. # Serbian vibes.
Well, it is true what she's saying with the hashtag Serbian vibes.
That is true.
How is she real? Like, this is the thing, is that this just seems like something that's like been like cooked up in like, I don't know, Rob's brain or something like that. Like,
Yeah. Just like the spoiled rich girl academic daughter who just like kills her entire family through just like weird horny
yeah,
mistakes.
this is a Megarica. Like, but Jordan
rich
Peterson's
enough.
not that rich. Like, I mean, a book deal like will get you money, but I mean, like, you're killing your father over of like what, a couple $100,000, which then you'll probably have to pay back in like, I don't know, all the fucking treatments that you're just like throwing money at the wall at.
Well, yeah, this is the thing that makes me feel like they are fairly comfortable because they're just fucking going off to a million different countries. They tried like a million different rehabs in the United States, according to her anyway, which that would have cost a small fortune.
Yeah.
And then that didn't work, so they started going like overseas to experimental experimental treatments. And then while that's happening, she just
It's
goes...
the movie Hostel, but...
So it was all about his benzo addiction?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Now he has coronavirus.
Yeah, God.
It was all about a fucking benzo addiction.
Exactly,
Like, what
yeah.
the fuck?
Come on.
This guy that tells you how to be like a strong and I don't know what kind
Yo,
of a like,
every
decent
fucking
man.
emo rapper has a fucking benzo
Exactly,
addiction, for
come
fuck's sake.
on.
God. Oh my goodness. Ask the Zoomers how to fucking deal with benzo addiction.
Serious? It's not heroin.
Yeah, all on benzo.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what? Like,
I don't want to make it super harmless, but it's still something you don't need to be put into a medical
No, exactly.
induced coma for.
God, yeah. I'm trying to find the original video.
oh no, I already retweeted that once in my brain.
What? Wait,
like,
there's a video?
the video of her in the club listening to the Numa Numa song.
Oh my god, I've never seen the video. I've just seen the meme.
We'll show you later.
Yeah, it's going to take me a while to find it, I think. But yeah, so that's kind of what's been happening with like the Petersons' fun times in Eastern Europe. Because again, like her dad's in this weird treatment in Russia, and she just fucks off with a like pickup artist to like Romania and just hangs around while he beats the shit out of women allegedly.
Oh my god.
And smokes cigars.
And he made a tweet something like with her, and it said, well, she said she likes meat or something like that.
She likes high quality.
Oh yeah,
meat.
yeah. She said she likes high quality meat, and it's him and her, and tagged her, and she said, "You're such a brat." Brad, not Brad, like not Brad Pitt.
You're such a Brad. Brad does that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't introduce us into the show yet, and I'm going to keep all that because that was a fucking... that
love
was
it.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
so...
right.
In case you didn't realize, hey, it is your weekly corner Späti. You're joined with myself, Nick, and Kieran and Yulia.
I'm always when Nick introduces us, I'm always the
I do
last
it by
one.
the order of what everyone's sitting.
Yeah, that's interesting because then when I'm sitting there, you start there.
Because you're the most important, so I put you last.
It's Corner Späti starring Nick and Kieran and featuring
Featuring
Uni-
a
Yeah.
special appearance by
Okay,
Yulia.
okay.
no,
You know
no,
what?
no,
It's
no.
like all right.
like
It's
Danny DeVito in Always Sunny. He's credited last because he's the biggest one.
yeah. It's also like all right on every Travis Scott song. Like, do you listen to Travis Scott songs because of Travis Scott or the features on the Travis Scott song? If you listen
The
to Travis,
features.
yeah, exactly. If you're a fucking child who listens to Travis Scott and actually likes him as an artist, you're wrong. But if you only listen to a Travis Scott song because someone's good on it, then yeah. Like, you're the featured. You're Pop Smoke in this case on that weird song. Which one is that? Gotti.
Gotti.
Yeah. Because no one listens to that song for Travis Scott. No one listens to Sicko Mode for Travis Scott.
That's true.
Just saying.
Andrew Tate also gives a master class in chess.
Oh.
Fucking nerd.
Network brilliance. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Okay. Andrew Tate's chorus for Network Brilliance.
Oh no, we're still talking about him?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got all the. I went to his shop page. 300 British pounds. The image is a picture of him shaking hands with Don Jr.
Oh hell yeah.
Can I see?
That's Don Jr. Right?
Oh god.
Which
Wait,
one
let me
is it?
see.
That
Yeah.
one there.
I thought it was body language.
Hell yeah, it's our goodest boy.
Don Jr.
Oh God.
Yeah, so this is all fun and good,
Yes,
and actually
podcast.
not good.
No.
You guys get off your phones and stop trying to buy Andrew Tate's cool stuff.
No, I want to listen to her podcast now.
Oh, she has a
She has a podcast.
Of course, she has a podcast. She's a.
Get her on the show. Get her on Cornish Späti.
Oh my god.
I mean, she is in Europe. She is relevant now to us.
Yes, what's Serbia like?
Yeah, we can ask her about like the situation in Serbia and how she experienced the like not the fake unlocked
So,
down.
what's it like not killing your dad over a very slow period of time?
So how's Russia doing, by the way?
How's
She's
Igor?
our Eastern Europe expert now.
How's Igor, the demon that inhabits? Oh my god! I really like the idea of just us trying to have like a very stodgy, intellectual, informed debate about the history of Serbia since like the fall of Yugoslavia with her, and just try to like. So, what do you think of Milanovic and his role?
Oh my god. Yes.
Speaking of demons in Eastern Europe,
Nice one. Nice
Transition.
transition.
transition. Belarus.
We're talking Belarus.
We're talking
again.
our goodest boy, friend of the show, Späti correspondent of Belarus. Yeah, that's right, Alexander Lukashenko.
Mikhaila Peterson.
Mikhaila Peterson reporting in live from Minsk on the ground, being beat the shit out of by Belarusian Secret Service.
I just what I have to assume is just a large collection of mashed potatoes put into riot cop uniform that's been cursed into being a vicious cop.
It's the
Why are they all so pudgy?
it's the what's it called, the marshmallow man from Ghostbusters.
The Michelin tire man.
Yeah, from Ghostbusters, but just
Yes.
made of potatoes.
And now is a riot cop for the Lukashenko government.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. So I guess a little bit of the intro. We talked about the election before it happened and how this looked like an election that something could change. And not for like the bullshit reasons of like, people were coming out onto the streets or whatever and there were exciting candidates or what have you, because there weren't exciting candidates.
Well, because I weren't allowed to be
No,
any.
exactly, yeah.
But I mean, even the ones that were.
In the last episode we talked about this, which I think was literally called Lukashenko's 55 bestest friends. We did mention that the only reason we think this election might be interesting is because of Lukashenko's reaction. Mm-hmm. Usually what happens with an election in Belarus is that, people run against him or whatever, but then
They give it the old try and then they lose. And
yeah, exactly. Like nothing of real consequence happens because it doesn't lead anywhere.
Yeah, except for the 2010 election. But
Interesting.
yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But this election was different because it was very apparent to a lot of like observers that Lukashenko was nervous. He was stopping candidates from running. He was arresting people, raiding banks and things where other people were. And yeah, so surprise, surprise, Lukashenko wins a landslide.
Yeah, that's
82%.
82%.
109%.
We got some extra people to vote.
Yeah.
That actually did happen. There was a bunch of ballots for dead people casted. and shit.
Isn't there like videos of like people jumping out of the window with ballots and shit like that out of like an election, like a voting station?
Oh yes,
stuff?
I did. Yeah, I saw.
They climb like out of the window and just run away with the ballots.
Just
And
throw it out the window.
oh, they can't.
It's a parade.
I was wondering if that was like one of those like weird tactics like the Greek anarchists do, where like every year they steal.
They steal ballot boxes.
ballot boxes.
Yeah, that's true.
They have to redo the election in those neighborhoods all the time.
Sick.
So
Yeah.
So, I guess the thing that happened. This happened over the weekend, and then during this week, things have kicked off. One of the first things that happened was, according to the main rival candidate, Svetlana Tikhanovskaya.
Tikhanovskaya.
That one.
Yeah, thank goodness we have Yulia this episode because last time Kieran was like, I'm just going to leave it. Like,
the presidential candidate who allegedly lost a probably rigged election on Sunday to incumbent Alexander Lukashenko turned up in Lithuania on Tuesday after a suspicious disappearance on Monday.
Sorry, it's a great days of Lithuania, Belarus, when they were still like.
What?
I mean, it was Poland and
Yeah. Belarus was there as well.
I mean, Belarus was there as well.
all my friends just hanging out.
I also just like the phrasing "turned up in Lithuania." Just like
It's like poof.
listen to the fucking Numa Numa song.
the Numa Numa song is playing in the local supermarket, and there she is in like the vegetable aisle. I was like,
Tikhanovskaya.
Hi.
Hi.
When I'm not running for president, I am here buying.
Turning up.
I'm here turning up buying legitimate Lithuanian zucchinis. But yeah, it turns out that last name was detained for 7 hours by Belarusian authorities on Monday after trying to file a complaint about Sunday's vote count. When she made the decision purely voluntarily, you understand, to flee the country.
Oh yeah, I voluntarily flee the country.
Aye, of course.
There's nothing after me or something. I'm just.
Why would I want to stay in Belarus? It's a country I fought for, and all my family and friends are here. Why would I do that? She does not appear to have done so with an eye toward keeping up the resistance in exile, as she released a video message that seemed to urge her supporters not to make a big stink of the whole affair. Lukashenko's government has already jailed her husband, Sergei,
Famous YouTuber.
What's up, guys?
It's Sergey.
Rocking in the house. It's playing in the background. They just got it in Belarus. Was originally planning to run the election. She has 2 children who may be at risk, so her decision to tap out after what was a harrowing few hours in custody is understandable. But despite her plea to supporters not to put themselves at risk, demonstrations are continuing.
Yes.
How long they continue, absent a figure around whom the demonstrators can rally, is unclear. Belarusian authorities have now reportedly taken the country's internet offline, which is a tactic routinely used to disrupt the cohesion of protest movements, but is also a strong signal that something horrible is about to happen.
Yes.
So that was the report on Tuesday of what's going on. There's been continuous protests ever since then. People keep going.
There have been like videos leaked of situations like in this room. Have you seen the video? There are like protesters in the room, and there's an altered voice speaking, like very low, kind of like
It's me, Alexander Lukashenko.
Chocolate rain.
well, it's probably like a military guy or a policeman or something, and it's young, definitely young protesters, look like around 20 or something like that. And they are like turned against the wall, kind of with their heads down and stuff like that. And then they have to turn around and they ask them, will you continue with your revolution? And they're like filming the faces, and it's like faces, of course, like filled with fear and saying like, no, we won't continue the revolution, we won't, and stuff like that. So kind of showing you what happens to you if you're going to protest.
Fun. And
yeah, that's actually methods that are quite now known of the Belarusian government, like to do that when there's protests happening, because it was like that in 2010, which was the last big uprising actually during the election. There was also a bit of like instability. I mean, like this time as well, because of the COVID-19 situation, you had an instability already. Back then you had an instability because the relationship with Russia was kind of like,
Yeah.
Because Lukashenko wouldn't say like thumbs up for the new Russian regions of former Georgia, of Südossetian and the other one.
South Ossetia?
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, Südossetian, but there's another one.
Abkhazia?
Maybe.
But that's not annexed. That's like Russia recognizes it.
Yeah. And it was about that because they wanted to have Belarus on their side, saying like, you should say, Russia, cool job.
Yeah.
And
Belarus has been in this like weird situation in regards to like which way Western man of like
Is Belarus part of that like the counter NATO thing that Russia has?
it's part of the EAU, the Eurasian Union.
No. The military alliance that they have with like it's like Russia, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Armenia.
nice countries.
I think Belarus may in it, and then like Serbia and Afghanistan are also members
That
of it.
strikes me as probably the only European former Soviet country that would ever join something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have such a like close border also to Lithuania and stuff like that, and it's kind of like there is this back and forth from like Lithuanians in Belarus or Belarusians in Lithuania and stuff. So I don't know, and Latvia as well. But yeah, I mean they had this weird plan, Putin and Lukashenko, to make Russia won again. You remember?
Yeah.
Like not Russia won again, but like to
the whole like
the Rus.
it's just called, is this called like the Union or something?
Yeah, exactly. They wanted to, I don't know, do like.
But like, things
never
also
happened.
things also soured after Crimea.
Exactly.
The only thing that I really remember, and I probably brought up a million times on this podcast, is just like how Lukashenko, while being like diplomatically somewhat supportive of Putin and the exiled Ukrainian Yanukovych or something, the one who was taken out by Euromaidan. He also simultaneously passed that law that was just like, if you see any unmarked soldier, just anyone is allowed to shoot them on sight, being like, we're not letting this happen to us. So it's like this weird thing, and Belarus has been doing economically quite well because of like being able to juggle that relationship, although it's tenuous. Like there was that whole again, after Crimea, when all the like sanctions against Russia happened, there was all this like supermarkets in Russia filled with Belarusian mozzarella and Belarusian
It's my favorite mozzarella.
Belarusian shrimp. It was all like landlocked.
Yeah, the coast of
off the coast of Minsk,
yeah.
Brest. I don't know, but the idea that just like all this European Union produce was coming into Russia via Belarus to skirt the sanctions.
Actually, Belarus is like also a known thing to like sell alcohol through. I don't know. Like I've met people in Latvia that said they're in business and they meet in Latvia with Belarusian entrepreneurs to sell alcohol to Russia or Belarus or something, or like sell it.
Yeah, it's to get away from sanctions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fun
so
fact.
that stuff keeps happening, I guess. But like it puts Belarus in this weird position of they kind of rely on both of these powers that are kind of at odds with each other. Yeah.
But so back to the protests and whatnot, because now, as of yesterday, I guess, the police and stuff have been releasing prisoners and whatnot. So I don't know what that necessarily means in terms of like dying down, because it doesn't seem that then it is. The thing that then that's also become very weird though is, and I know I don't want our listeners to get the wrong message of this from me, but there's been a lot of just people unknowingly waving the like that Nazi flag everywhere.
I think that's before we go back to the protest. I guess we can do like a quick address of that, because so people might have seen with these protests the white, red, white.
The Lutheran,
right. The white Lutheran flag. Yeah, that's something.
3 horizontal bands, white, red, white.
Yeah, and there's typically sometimes a horse in the middle of it.
The crest.
Yeah. And the really old version of it has just a swastika in the middle of it.
I mean, well, the really, really old one is the one where it symbolizes like the blood of a soldier or something like that in a field or some
That's
bullshit.
Always what red
Christian,
is.
It's kind of like Christian connotation.
It's a bad flag.
And it's kind of typical in Eastern Europe too, or like Eastern, like Central European, Central Eastern European countries to like do these kind of things to go back to an interbellum period.
Yeah.
As like the great times, the first nation kind of. Narrative, and it would be with this flag. Actually, that this flag was chosen for the like white
Rutharian.
Flag, who were also collaborators for the Nazis.
Yes.
So they would believe that you can build like an independent nation of Belarus under the Nazi regime, or like the occupation. If you collaborate. We had those kind of ideas with Latvia as well.
But then, like, fast forward to now, though, the flag still has an ultra right-wing connotation.
Definitely.
Like, it isn't that it's just, like, has been lost in the sense of, like, the identity behind it now is different. It's just that then happens to be that this is the same flag. It's like, no. This flag, up until very recently, and by very recently I mean like a week ago, was only used by the extreme right in Belarus for this exact same like antebellum thing. A lot of the times that antebellum being Nazi Germany.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting. It's so like a lot of like that.
I feel like we talked about this a great deal when we did, I can't remember, I think it was either Hungary, but we talked about like, because Hungary and Poland are the classic examples of also fetishizing the antebellum period.
Or Nazi Germany on Hungary's sense.
Well, no, but this is the thing they do. They kind of like, they talk about the interbellum period and all these symbols and all these figures and whatever as heroes of a purely independent, totally not occupied or controlled.
The First Nation kind of thing. It's like this. Well, the thing is, you have this big narrative, and this narrative is kind of like this weird, like. I mean, you still have the Soviet symbols in Belarus that are very much in place. Nothing like got put down or something, no statues or something. You still have it. So they kind of see it, even though it's not really like a continuation of the, communist.
Belarus is very far from a socialist state.
Yeah, exactly. But you still have all these symbols. So, like, what do you do to, contest that, to go, like, full opposite? I mean, you kind of like use this idea of this like you need to rewrite a new like narrative for your country if you want something else, something that people can rally behind. And then you tell them about like the First Nation kind of thing. You use the symbols. You say, okay, this would be the
indigenous Belarusians.
Autochtone Russian. You kind of like you want a new narrative, so you use this narrative because this is solid. This is the First Nation. This is Belarus.
It's almost as if fascism relies on returning to a past that never was.
Exactly.
Like,
what? Damn.
So while people can probably, and I think I've seen it online, cherry pick examples of this flag being used in non-problematic ways, it is ignoring, in the same way that like all these figures that like Poland and Hungary celebrate had periods in their lives when they were probably just bog standard liberals. Like it's ignoring a huge part of that like history because it's like, okay, and then what did they do? They sided with the Nazis.
Exactly.
I think the way I think of it is like the people who are the most ardent, like white, red, white flag wavers in Belarus are probably people who, if this quote unquote revolution is successful, will form like a future Belarusian Fidesz or a future Belarusian PIS.
That's the thing that then's the ultimate problem of this is that then we talked about this on the show. I think last time we talked about Belarus was that then. If then it ends up in a situation that then it currently is, it may be worse than Lukashenko in a weird way. Like maybe not in the sense of like in terms of like political oppression and whatnot and stuff like that. But either you're going to have like a weird neoliberal government that has like that's just this bizarre centrism that could be immediately hijacked by the right, which is what's happening now in every Eastern European country, or you just have a full blown right-wing neo-fascist group.
They get to skip a couple of steps.
Exactly. And I do think the thing that then I think is really interesting too is that then this is from what my flatmate has shown me is that there's like a lot of younger, maybe not like a lot, but there are younger people who are like Belarusian nationalists in quotes, who are just so like, oh yeah, no, we have to vote for like the this is like talking about how like then the other candidates aren't the good ones because they're like
corrupt.
They don't want
Exactly,
yeah.
They don't want the
like
liberals,
an actual,
the liberals or like or the oligarch with a bank or something like that. They don't want that. They want the they want
blood and soil.
Yeah, the blood and soil ones. And
maybe not like extreme blood and soil, but but
Yeah.
it is like there is a message that then can like easily be just like implemented into there.
I mean, you have these kind of like phenomena all the time, especially when it comes to these kind of uprisings. You had it in Ukraine as well.
Oh yeah,
you know,
that was immediately hijacked by Nazis.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't start out like that. It did start out with like, you know, saying, "Oh, you promised us Europe. Where is it?"
And then Europe's like, "We never promised you that. What are you talking about?"
No, but like that last election was just like Poroshenko, the chocolate king of Ukraine, just constantly going to rally after rally in various like Kievan suburbs, and then every time his thing would just get like bum rushed by neo-Nazis, like some sort of like, I don't know, the Ukrainian Timberwolves or whatever the fuck they were called, and they would just be like, "We believe in hanging out with your bros and murdering all Jews." And like, okay, cool.
We've already made a list of them.
Oh shit! Yeah.
We were just trying to hand it to Poroshenko with knives.
Yeah.
I mean, you had these. I mean, suddenly there were ideas about putting up the old. What's his name? Paren? No, what's his name? This fascist
in Ukraine.
Ukrainian fascist. Was it Paren?
In Ukraine?
Yeah,
something like that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
something
Whatever.
like
The
that.
one who then literally, it's not even just like was like, oh, maybe he was problematic. Like he was legitimately like a member of the SS.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And they formed like neighborhood watches and shit like that, and that was basically just a bunch of right-wing hooligans trying to kill people.
Yeah, they still exist too.
And vigilant groups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that it happens a lot, like a protest like that being hijacked by groups that see political opportunity in this. I mean, you don't only have it in Eastern Europe, you have it in I don't know. Let's think about stuff like Syria.
The U.S.
Oh, the U.S. or Syria as well. Like when you suddenly had in East Aleppo had the situation of I mean, Islamic fundamentalists trying to.
The fall of a dictator does release all sorts of weird bullshit. Because like, so a big part of why a lot of these candidates, from my perspective, might be worse than Lukashenko in a lot of ways, or especially in the long term, is that there's this thing in kind of like liberal geopolitics that I'm not sure how much I like the theory, but it is one that kind of resonates with me at the moment. Oops, sorry. Is the what's it called? Authoritarian bargain is what it's referred to as. It's like you the people give up your political power for as long as I can keep the jobs coming. Is basically the idea.
Yeah.
Because like all of these dictators, all these authoritarian leaders always get overthrown as soon as like
there's no jobs.
Yeah, the stable jobs aren't there because, and this is what kind of like Belarus did not go through necessarily the same shit that like Poland, Ukraine, a lot of these other countries went through after the fall of the Soviet Union because Lukashenko took over in 1984 and basically didn't allow, like, neoliberalism hasn't come to Belarus in the same way as other places. Because like to keep him in power, he's had to make sure that everyone who is a threat to him has a nice cushy state job effectively.
Yes.
Which is why you get those insane like tankies who think that Belarus is like the Soviet like golden land.
Belarus's economy is like almost identical to how Russia's is, just poorer.
Yeah. But it, like there is stable work for a lot of people in the same way that there like isn't here even. Like there's like Belarus still has like shit wages, but still has the concept of like if you stay at your job long enough, your wages will increase, which is like a thing that doesn't really exist for a lot of like industries in Western Europe, United States. Like to increase your wages, you have to move job. Like that's the only way it will happen, which is tenuous. But like, yeah, that's the kind of situation that anyone who's opposing Lukashenko would probably get rid of in favor of
just full-blown neoliberalism.
Yeah, because like there's a lot of things on paper that like, oh, Poland is doing better at X, Y, and Z. Look at how much it's grown GDP-wise. That's a useful measure of a country's wealth.
Always.
Yeah, but like there's the sales pitch to these kind of idiot goons of like neoliberalism is strong. Like to them, it's very compelling. So yeah, and there will be like short-term gains. For sure, there will be things they can point to and say, look how much better we are now. We have a Starbucks or something. Like, but there would be things like that. It's like the same as gentrification. It's just like, look at all the nice things around you.
Yeah.
You
Oh my
can't
god!
afford to.
I hope they don't take down the nice hammer and sickle.
They'll
statues.
Starbucks. Yeah.
It's all Starbucks.
Gonna still keep the emblem though.
It's that weird mermaid spreading her tail
No,
legs.
yeah, what the fuck is that?
I
Anyway.
don't know. Seattle in the 90s was wild.
Yeah, but I mean, you've seen these kind of like methods before in 2010 with arresting opposition candidates. So you had a situation where one of them was on a train, and I don't really know anything about the candidates or like what they stood for, but he
Right.
was on a train, then they shot at him, and then he was taken out of the train and arrested. And they tend to do that in
I was like, we weren't planning to arrest you. We just David's drunk. Shooting wildly.
It's like, oh, it wasn't. I didn't know it was you,
We ran
Mr.
out of bullets.
Opposition candidate.
We gave David the gun. It's his birthday.
Got the kid right around the patrol car.
Yeah, there's some kid on ride along. Do you want to shoot at the opposition?
Well, but it always kind of like was like that they would arrest people, then they would be in prison for an indefinite time. Like some of them would be released immediately when there was no like protest anymore, like after a few days. Some would be threatened with like life in prison or 25 years in prison or something. And then all of a sudden, after a few weeks, they all get released without any saying. Like they just get out of prison and that's it. No trial, nothing. And they tend to do that. It's kind of like a weird method because you're standing there without any political opportunity anymore because you don't even have a trial. People were not rally behind you saying like, free XY, Gasparin. I don't know.
But even then, like a trial would also like extend the painful process of what you went through. Like I'd imagine there's a lot of people who would probably come out of that pretty scarred, being like, I just want to leave it alone.
Yeah.
Like let's just fuck it. Let's go
Exactly.
home and watch
Yeah.
Belarusian Netflix.
Exactly.
No, I don't have a joke about Belarusian Netflix.
Netflix.
We did it, guys. Netflix. Print that on 12 million t-shirts.
Oh my god, someone will steal that.
Oh, they will,
Like
yeah.
Gosha Rupczynski or something like that. Don't listen to this. We said it first.
Yeah, so like that.
If you spelt Netflix in Cyrillic alphabet, though, it would be pronounced as Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I like
We
it.
all learned something.
No flicks.
No.
Oh, that X is weird though because you have to use a K and an S for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That's funny though.
Take that fun Kazakh Cyrillic character that
Yeah.
all the Russians hate looking at. So the weird thing about this is that, yeah, you're right. In previous times they've done this where they just released people.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that's happened now, though, is they've released a bunch of people and they're like, international observers, foreign policy people who have been looking at this, been like, we think Lukashenko did this to ease tensions. Be like, all the people who were arrested, they're out now. Why are you complaining, right?
Didn't he leave too? Like, wasn't there his private jet on the way to
Oh, I don't know about that.
somewhere?
Oh, that's I would do that if I was him, but sure.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's what international observers are saying. That's the plan behind it. It may have backfired because all people are coming out of prison being like visibly injured and telling people
definitely.
we were beating the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And everyone's like pissed.
Yeah, but actually, I think that wasn't like that before. You know, that people were also talking about it, and like because they weren't released immediately, maybe I don't know. But I read something like of
They
like
waited
people
3 days for
okay.
these people to be released.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of protesters coming
Jesus.
home. Interesting.
Yeah.
Of like protesters going home and they're like telling the story and like people would just not react to them or something, even if they had like marks or something on their body or
Right,
something. That was former protests, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody would want to talk to them because nobody would want to get in, you know, in trouble.
Yeah.
Exactly. nobody would say like, or people would, mothers would say, or like parents would say like, why would you risk like, for example, your university degree or something like that? So before it wasn't actually, I don't know.
The risk reward kind of like breakdown in your head was probably not great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is all such a fucking hard thing to also then just like pry open to, because I don't know if you guys have noticed who's been like getting really horny for all this stuff.
Like Brussels bubble libs.
Yeah, that and like Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International and whatnot. And the thing that then I
Hong
mean,
Kong.
Huh?
What?
What?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. The thing I'm like probably the most afraid of as well is that then like, okay, obviously there's legitimate strife within the country of Belarus.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, Lukashenko, not great.
No.
You know, because it's like the same tactic that was also then tried to with
Snake again.
what?
I gotta be like a purist again.
No.
This is not what.
No. It's like it's just like, because the situation that then we're currently ending towards is Ukraine, which is like, I mean, one of the biggest jokes of a fucking country right now. No, I mean, what? Oh, you're gonna be
I have a
fucking
TV star as a
yeah. What? I mean,
He was going to legalize weed and guns.
hello. That's what you
libertarian
need.
candidate.
He was a libertarian candidate. Do you ever look at his platform? Zelensky's platform was insane. Guns and weed.
Cool guy. I liked how he
Damn.
played the president on TV.
You ever just
He like went on the internet in 2008 and just never left.
They just got it in Ukraine. Do you ever light a blunt with your gun? Zelensky's Ukraine.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's the same thing then with that of seeing the people in the West who are getting horny for it, and yeah, I'm very curious of then what kind of bizarre fucking Western backed coup thing is just gonna like pop out of nowhere.
Or Russian backed. Because this is like
Yeah, we haven't heard about Putin yet. I mean,
Putin just congratulated him.
he
And that
did.
was kind of
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Putin's being smart and like not really like he just congratulated him. There's like left it
Yeah,
as
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
If you notice, Russian state media is not talking about Belarus at all.
Actually, there were ones in Belarus insulting Lukashenko after the incident with
so
South Ossetia.
But this is okay. So this is the weird thing that's happening. So a lot of like people are getting their information. A lot of people I'm seeing getting their information are getting it from like resistance Russian media,
Yeah.
like Medusa, which is quite good. Like I don't have a problem with Medusa, but like the other thing is I'm not sure how long this is going to last because lots of journalists and like photographers and stuff have been arrested or attacked
And beaten.
Yes, and most of them are Russian because that's just where you would have easiest access or whatever.
But also like other from the US and shit like, or from BBC and shit like that.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Well, you can beat up the BBC people. I don't care.
I'm just saying.
And then it was also like there was meetings between Heiko Maas and Sergei Lavrov, like, and apparently that was mostly what they were discussing. Was just like what the fuck's happening in Belarus. I find it like, so there was that whole like fake coup thing that
Lukashenko was saying that, but he's then like the thing with it too is that then he was saying that first it was Russia, and then he's like, oh, we're going to turn the internet off because foreign powers, particularly he meant the West then in that sense, are going to try to, which is like not wrong, like just historically speaking, like I mean, like for some people it sounds ridiculous, but that is like obviously one of the very first tactics that then like, I mean, any outside agitator, I know that we normally associate that. No, but we normally associate that word now with like, the Russiagate idiots, but they're like the US is the number one outside agitator in elections internationally. The thing of it though is that Belarus has never had a strong enough opposition for like anyone to actually care and like try to like
like,
bother the
you have to be really shit politically for the US not to back you.
yeah.
Because the US have backed some duds in the past.
Yeah, like Navalny in Russia has been like the U.S. is horny as shit
Oh,
for
they
him
love
in like
him.
the 2000s.
He has his organization
Juan
over
Guaido.
there.
Juan
Free-
Guaido, yeah, exactly. Someone like
Yeah.
Has declared himself president of Russia, of Belarus. Yeah, but like I think there's still, this is the problem with like Lukashenko's position before all of this, or like even during this, of like wanting to not necessarily toe the line on like everything Russia was saying.
Yeah.
So like I don't see it as completely impossible that Russia would take advantage of this situation. They would probably be quicker to react, and I think it's just way easier for them to take advantage of the situation than it would be for the US.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. They're
It's
right there.
It's next door.
Yeah, the two countries speak the same
They
language.
already have the kind of like way to get into the
and
country.
Russia is
you know?
trying to expand its influence, while the United States is like very much diminishing as a world power. Not that
Yeah.
Russia's like rising as a world power, but it would then serve as an opportunity to then like
It's a very paranoid world power.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Russia?
And what is then a better opportunity than to just like, I mean, because then Russia could like remove Lukashenko, be like, oh yeah, hey, we're the, we understand that the people don't want him.
Yeah, he is
You
a
know?
different candidate.
I mean, that's a very, very, very viable option. I mean, like obviously Russia could do it through, clandestine methods. Russia does have a like very capable foreign service that just murders people throughout the world.
Our Patreon supporters.
I don't think they would murder Lukashenko.
No. I'm talking about that. Then
I know.
the FSB very much
Yeah.
could easily
Yeah,
I mean-
if this happens, it would be like Lukashenko retiring. In
Exactly,
Russia.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, we've seen lately that Putin not really cares too much about when it comes to like having a relationship, not having a relationship, but
It's complicated.
no, but caring, like being loyal to the people he has like a political relationship with, because he has removed what's his name from the
Abkhaz or
the
What's it called?
Ministry
Agrarian-
of Agriculture.
well, some like some big agrar company.
Yeah.
And he didn't even do anything that wrong, but they
Right.
wanted to kind of internalize it, like eat it up as,
consolidation of power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so normally it was like there was like this unwritten contract, like if you're an oligarch but you don't get political, that's cool. You can be an
Yeah.
oligarch. That's all fine. But he kind of broke that with kicking this guy off his like head seat of this company, this agrar company. I don't know what, I forgot the name. So yeah, I mean, Lukashenko and him haven't always been best friends. I mean, they do act in their political interests. Of course, they have like a strong, Lukashenko had a strong ally with Russia. I mean, the like lovey-dovey plans of like making it one didn't turn out too well. They had disagreements.
While, yes, I guess the way that I put it is like while Russia is Belarus's like best ally,
Yeah.
I don't think that relationship
Called frenemies, okay.
Frenemy, yeah.
But like, for Russia, it's more of a frenemy
Yeah.
situation. Like,
Yeah.
like it's not Russia. I would imagine demands or would like more loyalty from whoever's in charge of Belarus.
Definitely.
And
So if there's someone out there,
missed connections. You are an Eastern European despot. I'm another Eastern European despot. We met on Little St. James.
It's Zelensky just like crawling over to Putin, like, what? Oh, you met me?
The thing that I think would be, I think the other thing on the other side of that is just like the Russian paranoia of if they lost Belarus, if it did become like CIA land or whatever, like
That's
NATO
Poland.
land.
yeah, but that is Poland. But like, I think there would be like a huge crisis within the like geopolitics. Like,
Russia would just invade Belarus at that point.
like
Yeah,
they can't
Definitely.
like they reacted in such a way of possibly losing Ukraine. Like
no. I mean,
Yeah.
Russia literally invaded I guess it's now Russia,
Yeah.
over something way smaller than the situation of if then like just like a U.S. backed power just ends up right next door to them. Because Ukraine never was like there were candidates that the U.S. is like trying to push, but the U.S. does not have that big of an influence in Ukraine, and it was kind of then the sense of like also with you know. What are we supposed to call it now? I know that the Oil Maidan is not the proper name anymore, but whatever. I don't care.
Just Maidan.
Maidan. Okay, yeah. That was then the thing of kind of like amongst like foreign policy thinkers in the sense of like, oh, okay, like, you know, how important is Ukraine? You know, if NATO and the EU care that much about Ukraine, then they'll back the candidate and they'll back the protesters. And then it showed like very quickly that then Ukraine did not fucking matter one bit.
Yeah.
No.
And I think
Belarus, though, is kind of, I mean, you have big ass NATO troops and like Latvia at the border and stuff like that. So Belarus,
moved to Poland now.
yeah, but Ukraine then also for NATO offers a perfect position then to have ports and military bases there and
but
whatnot.
Didn't they? Like no one gave it up. Like everyone wanted it with the
Yes.
submarine port. And
Yeah, that's why Russia wants Crimea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
This mismatch, though, I think is the interesting thing of why I think it might end up with something a bit more Russian-friendly at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think Russia cares way more about it than the US
exactly.
does.
Yeah. Same thing with Ukraine. Russia cared significantly more about it than the West did.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it'll end up better or worse, then I mean, like, I don't want to be too much of a negative Nancy and say that then like, okay, first off is like, do I think that Lukashenko's gonna last out this crisis? Probably. Just strictly saying that then, he has gotten out of a situation like this before. The
Several
opposition
times.
isn't strong enough behind one. They're not like the opposition doesn't like the candidate. They're not.
they're not really deep in the like politics game or
Lithuania.
something.
Yeah. There's not like
She's not even like supposed to be the president afterwards.
No, she's
No,
like-
exactly.
Yeah, she's
yeah.
just a placeholder for not just she does stuff as well, but like she literally, like her husband literally said like
She's
is
not going to be president.
exactly.
Yeah.
He's going to pull the strings basically,
Yeah.
and so
So I don't think that then. I don't think that it's going to end up in the sense that then we're going to see her becoming president of Belarus. Nor do I think it's going to end up like I do think that then things are going to go back to normal. And this is all speculation. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
However, I've not been wrong very often on this show. It'll probably go back to normal with then like the Lukashenko. How just Belarus being under Lukashenko. The thing that probably will change, though, is that I think what you guys are both kind of hinting that as well, is that the relationship between Russia and Belarus is going to have to drastically change because there's probably going to be some backdoor deal between Putin and Lukashenko that then will have to be made in order for then this to... And with which if that means more concession to Russia, if that means that then Belarus is then more active within then... I think Belarus is part of that, like, the counter NATO thing that Russia has. Because you're right, like, Russia is incredibly paranoid as a world power.
Yeah.
And they are also, Russia's bizarre because you have a country who's broke as shit.
Yeah.
With one of the largest militaries in the world, who's expanding their influence actually quite well in Europe. Like, this doesn't mean that I think that they're like,
The boogeyman that everyone says.
yeah, exactly. But just strictly looking at it from the sense of how, like, world politics goes, like, the U.S. is diminishing. Turkey is trying to, flex their influence in the area that they have.
There's already French military just like off their coast now.
Yeah. Russia then is also an ally too of Armenia, who's having trouble with Turkey as well.
Turkey in the news right now that the United Arab Emirates
one of the axes of evil.
Wanted to make a deal with Israel.
Yes.
To soften the conflict that they always have, and Turkey was like, "You shouldn't do that."
Yeah.
And now they're getting into a fight with the Emirates. And
The thing though is that like with Erdogan though, that's much different with Putin. Is that then if Erdogan takes one wrong step, his entire country will collapse.
yeah, I mean seriously,
Like-
he's starting like right now. He's attacking everyone.
Yeah. Erdogan's biting. First off, Erdogan's also a part of NATO, which then if Erdogan breaks that, like, you know, his bizarre contract that he has with NATO by just, like, you know, just deciding, like, on Thursday
Starting
to invade
a war
Greece.
with France.
Yeah, starting a war with France or
There
with
are already
Greece or
newspapers
whatever.
that put like Turkish flag on Greek islands and shit like that. It was like airstrikes and fighter jets
again,
and stuff.
Erdogan is your dumb, extremely racist Turkish nationalist uncle
He has
who
to
just
be the
You
show
start
like
a
like
swag
his
electronic duo with
well, his power is crumbling right now because of the situation in Turkey. So he does everything. Like, he did crazy shit before when,
Yeah.
like,
And there's
staging
actually a political
like coup.
opposition in Turkey.
I don't know about the coup. Like,
I
its
totally
nature,
believe that the
but,
coup was him.
But
Like,
it was very helpful for him.
of
so,
course.
Yeah. So he does like really weird, crazy shit like
Yeah.
that. Like, starting.
But like, yeah, Nick is right. There is political opposition, even if like the Kemalists are kind of toothless, but you still also have like the communists, the Kurdish parties,
who've legitimately concessioned their power to the Kemalists when they've needed to, knowing that the Kemalists will not like defend their right, but just simply
of course.
that there's maybe
Just to make Istanbul at least, Istanbul and which one, Izmir as well, or
Izmir.
I think it was Izmir,
That's
in
another
Istanbul, to get it CHP lead.
Yeah, but like Russia's position's not similar to that at all. There's no political opposition that then has footing in Russia. There's also like
all the great parties of Russia.
Yeah, all united Russia and Yabloko.
Yeah.
And the Communist
and
Party.
Navalny, who's independent now because he's not part
He's
of
kicked out of
Yabloko,
Yabloko.
because he was too racist for Yabloko.
Oh jeez.
You love to see it. But yeah, I mean, and I think then that this all, this all just kind of has in the sense of and I like I said, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer saying that then like, oh, the protests are going to go nowhere, but I don't feel that it's picking up enough traction on like an international scale of like the West willingly wanting to remove Lukashenko because there's nothing in it for them. Yeah. And I know that this sounds horrible. Yeah,
but it's always like, of course, then like
there is aspects as well of like, even if the protests were quote unquote successful, then we're probably just looking at mini Ukraine. Yeah.
Exactly.
Everything that happened at Maidan, like the consequences of Maidan, like as soon as that like new presidential election happened after your guy was ousted, was just like, as soon as I saw that election, it was just like disappointing. Like none of these candidates are good. Like Poroshenko didn't really offer anything different to Yanukovych. Like because other than just more lip service to the EU, which Yanukovych did. It's just when
well, we have a 90 days without visa deal now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
With Belarus as well.
Yeah, but not from the other side, and the other way around, right?
No.
Because Ukrainians can now come to Europe for 90 days as well.
Yeah. But like, it was all worth it.
Yes, especially the war in Donetsk.
On a summer in Crimea, you can't. But like, yeah, so that whole like, but that's. I think that's the more disappointing situation than what like Nick is describing. Is what Nick's describing is like, well, at least the people who like threw down during this period of time are still there, and maybe the next opportunity they will know what better to do, or like
have a fucking candidate. And I know that then this like this is kind of stupid to say because then like, okay, well, yeah, all the other candidates got arrested, but it's like, they also were not good.
No.
You're fucking, YouTube gamer, like, I don't know, what, 2025, they'll have, like, what, a pickup artist candidate? Like, what's, like...
What was it? It was like Giz in Belarus or something.
I don't know,
like
but
life
the thing of it is that then, like, the political landscape of these countries, of Ukraine and of Belarus, and you can also make the same argument for, like, Poland and Hungary as well, maybe. Moldova, Bulgaria as well, is that then because... Now, in the sense of all the rest of them is because they're just centrism forever and always. The thing that then the Belarusian candidates then are continues to try to do is just mirror that, which has ended up in a completely disastrous government since the 90s. for every post-Soviet or post-Eastern Bloc country. Like, there's not one post-Eastern Bloc country that then is not either being engulfed by fascism right now,
or super neoliberal.
Yeah, or like engulfed in like one of the most chaotic forms of neoliberalism that then no one lives there anymore.
For Slovenia.
Slovenia is also having a political crisis right now, where then the government keeps like there's massive protests going on in Slovenia for the past like 2 months.
I would also say that I would exempt from that assessment. I would exempt probably all the ex-Yugoslav countries.
Yeah, exactly, and that is a different situation.
They went through different shit. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they went through an immediate civil war.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm talking, but they also weren't. They also aren't the Eastern Bloc because they had
exactly. Yeah,
they had relations with the West.
Yeah. But like.
Albania is also a
weird one.
Everything Southeast Europe.
Yeah. But I think you're right though. But like the what I'm saying is like that situation I think is probably less disappointing than the situation of like literally everyone sitting around in Minsk one day when Lukashenko leaves and like Johnny neoliberal-ish comes along and like
why is he
Southeast
European?
I don't know.
Yeah, it'll either be Johnny Neoliberovich or like Johnny Neo-Nazivich. Those are the only two like plausible outcomes of this situation.
If it has like a post-Maidan situation, it will be just the entire population of like Minsk and Brest just sitting in a big giant plaza going, "We win?" ? It'll just be so weird and disappointing, and all those people who are now like throwing down and kicking off or whatever will just become so fucking disillusioned. Whereas the situation of Lukashenko stays in power is, well, maybe these guys will know what to do better next time.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
you'll just have another banker and another
YouTuber.
Yeah. That's the problem. I mean,
there's no actual politics in these countries. Yeah. I mean, there are, but it's...
Yeah, that's not true.
There's no actual, like, good... Like, I don't want to say good alternatives because that's subjective, I guess, but there's no alternative that then you can actually look at and be like, oh, okay, there's like a progressive candidate in Belarus. Like, I don't want to fucking know what the YouTubers... I do not want to know what the fucking YouTuber social policies for Belarus was. Like, how fucking homophobic he was or something.
He really reminds me of a Navalny character, kind of, because of the YouTube stuff. Navalny did that as well. Navalny got really famous because of his anti-corruption efforts, which is really funny. Because like this is basically the platform he was running on, and everyone loved it. Of course, liberals love anti-corruption stuff. Yeah. Like without understanding what corruption actually means.
What did Navalny get in trouble for? I don't remember.
Me neither. It's kind of interesting because it got picked up by Putin as well. Because it was actually something that addressed, I don't know who was first though, that addressed the Putin situation of arresting everyone for corruption issues and using corruption as like removing, as a measure to remove people. And then Navalny took this and made it his thing, and was a platform he was running on, and he did it on YouTube. He has really funny videos. But Putin, so he made it cool. He made anti-corruption cool.
Putin's like
that bell button.
Yeah. The thing though that's also super interesting, and I know we're like I hate using this comparison just because Belarus and Russia are next to each other, that they're similar, but I think Putin's such an interesting figure in this because as a strongman leader, Putin's kind of the best always. Like, he really is so much fucking smarter than everyone else in the game.
In comparison to the candidates?
No, in comparison to, like, every other strongman leader in the world. Like, in comparison to Erdogan, in comparison to
He didn't really
Trump.
lose yet, did he?
No, it's not even that. It's just that Putin's, like, personality, like, never really comes through in his politics. It's always, like, what's good for Russia, And, like, there is an individual thing of that then, like, Putin showing his manliness and Putin doing this and Putin doing that.
He was shirtless on a horse.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like he's vulnerable is with like a baby tiger.
Yeah, exactly.
The manliest animal to be vulnerable with.
No, there's probably puppy photos of him.
No, but like where it's like Putin's also like those pictures are the pictures that then are allowed to be shown of him. There's only one photographer who's like allowed to take pictures of him, which was like...
Is that the one he...
Yes. That was a former fashion model who then he made into his photographer.
It is a photographer.
But in terms of like stuff that gets passed is that then like, okay, like, the ultra conservatism and stuff like that. If Putin actually cares about that or not, I don't think he. I don't.
No,
it doesn't
not really.
matter.
He's kind of like handling all the fucking like all the different opinions. So he doesn't let the there's worse than Putin in Russia. They're like super conservative, super orthodox, super. Nothing against that. Yeah, don't. No,
Party.
yeah.
No, they're horrible.
yeah, super anti-LGBT, and I mean, and he took that. He took some of those ideas. I don't know if Putin really cares about you being gay or not.
Yeah, it doesn't
probably
really matter.
not. But
he sees himself as a reflection of like Russia.
Exactly,
and I think that actually is quite true.
And he takes popular opinions, and that's the way he consolidates his power.
Yeah.
And he actually, at the same time, always makes it seem like he is not the person that pushes these agendas
It's
through.
the Russian people.
It's the Russian people, or it's always someone else, but he is the one you can call at night or something when you worry about something the state does wrong, but he is not the state. And that is really interesting.
He's a fucking genius.
He's a guy you can call at night and talk about what is...
555 Putin.
That's very interesting. Yeah, it's really fascinating how he fucking like... Yeah. Anyway, how did we end up on Putin?
Because Belarus.
Because strong leaders, huh?
Yeah. And because of the sense of how important the situation is. This situation is far more important for Russia than it is for the West.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I'm sorry, like Belarus is just geographically caught in a shit place.
I mean, you see it already. Like you don't see too much posting and informing people on social media as you see in comparison to Ukraine, for example.
Yeah.
There was more going on when it came to
There was
Ukraine.
immediately a Netflix documentary that came out like
because
a
maybe
week or
people
so
really like to go to Crimea. I think. I mean, that was a different situation, but
Ukraine was also like way more strategically important. I think because of the Black Sea access, because of like. It was also like the reason why Putin wanted it in the UAE so badly is because it would have been the second richest member of the UAE. It's like one of the better economies in the region, which is like again not a huge bar to overcome, but still. So like that was why, and everyone wanted it. But like
I'm just saying when it comes to like the social media like sharing of the situation, there's not so much coming out of the country because of the internet problem.
Yeah, that was actually
internet's back up though.
But you didn't have that in Ukraine as much.
And it's also worth pointing out that I want to point this, like why the internet strategy didn't necessarily work this time is because at this point, like compared to say 2010, like 10 years ago, they had the average Belarusian protester seemed to figure out like like how to use Telegram without like relying like Telegram plus VPNs, and they were able to spread.
Telegram was the one that was working actually when the internet, like all the portals were down, and
so like they were able to like use that throughout the protests. So like the majority of the internet was down, but like they were able to continue to coordinate.
But to go with the channels to communicate, can't do that in Russia. Telegram is gone.
Yeah.
I was there when that happened actually.
But that's Do we have anything else to say about Belarus?
No, that's it really. It's just us speculating, which is kind of maybe not fair. And I normally don't like doing this, but it's also kind of like such a weird situation where, I mean, because just the brutality that then is happening on the ground is obviously there. You know, seen it. We talked about it, but I find this. I mean, it's the thing that's interesting about it is that because of where like how Belarus kind of fits into this picture is that there's just kind of like a massive like staring into the like void of geopolitics right now.
Yeah, I think the speculation on our part is fair because it is interesting to think about where it's going to go. We will probably be talking about Belarus probably a couple more times before this month is over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like as of recording, like there are general strikes happening in like several industries, including state-owned industries within Belarus that are like, as far as I remember, that's more than what like Ukraine did. Like Ukraine was like entirely like the street protest, didn't have any of that. So that's like an interesting angle, and maybe that will work for them, or at least affect some changes where people can be happy with Lukashenko again, whatever that is. But it's it's just a geopolitically fucked situation because the West doesn't care enough about you,
Yeah.
and
That is unfortunate.
Russia doesn't want you. But we can all cheer ourselves up because we're going to use our Patreon money to buy Andrew Tate's PhD program.
Oh,
What, a pussy hunting degree?
I was going to say pretty huge dick, but yeah, probably.
Okay.
Because the cover is just these women in very busty dresses. But there's Andrew Tate.
oh
How do
he's
you
also there.
How do you get so close to those women? Pay £337 to find Also, this website aggressively messages me while I'm on it, so I'm going to close it now. Yeah,
Alrighty.
Yeah, so I guess that's...
that's our weekly.
Oh, yeah, and also one last thing about Belarus, too,
Yeah.
is I think that then, like, I want to be fair about it. The thing that then, like, because I've seen, like, the majority of things not addressing the political situation of Belarus, and not addressing then, like, the real, like, again, like, the thing of then, like, the bizarre imagery of, like, an ultra-right-wing thing becoming the banner for this movement, I think, is fair to be critical about, because I get that then, like, people are getting behind this. A lot of young people are. I obviously don't think that they're Nazis. That's not true.
No,
but
yeah.
the thing that I am genuinely afraid of is that then the alternative that then is being that because this imagery isn't being presented, the one that then people may unknowingly, just out of the sake of wanting Lukashenko gone, may really get into is going to be this, like, you know, Belarus as it was, you know, forever ago, and how
And never.
it never actually was.
Yeah.
That then's
Great nation.
yeah,
of
probably worse
white
than Lukashenko.
Ruthenia.
Well, it's like it's the same with any like larger group of people waving a particular flag. It's
Yeah.
always just like always examine the most gung ho one, like the ones
Yeah.
who are like really
Yeah,
into it
yeah,
and what
exactly.
they because they're the ones when this political project reaches like the what do moment.
Yeah.
These are the people who will know what to do and they will start doing
Exactly.
it.
They will-
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be like the equivalent of Germany would be like if people were holding up like the like the Reichsbürger flags.
Yeah, I was about to say the Reichsbürger. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Reichsbürger.
the
flag,
Reichsbürger
like
flag, not
the Kaiserreich
Yeah,
flag.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
not the other.
I would, yeah, if I saw those in people in Germany waving those, which you do see those
It's
people in
like,
Germany waving flags. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of
Not
weird
great.
because our interbellum period was different. We had a weird Weimar Republic, and that was
This thing that just was destined to fail.
yes.
But yeah, so
That
I
was
just
something
I
else.
don't want to like I don't want to be like, you know, I don't want it to be sounding that then like I'm too like, oh Nick, you're mean to the protesters, this and that and that. I think we can be like rightfully critical of the thing that then they're getting behind. Obviously, I don't think that Lukashenko's good. Like, I'm not stupid. However, the like a viable alternative to him right now just has not appeared. You know, and I think we can like rightfully look at that in the face.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like I'm genuinely sorry to any Belarusian listeners that we have. I'm sorry that then I have this very, you know,
You
drab
mean in the
view
sense
of
of someone that could beat him?
No,
Not
just in the sense
someone
of
that
like
is better than him.
someone that just is like, yeah, just just a genuine alternative to Lukashenko that then isn't horrible. Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple angles on this because like you're asking all the right questions. It goes like, yes, there isn't anyone who has enough power.
no.
Yeah.
There's then not anyone who is good. There's definitely not a
Who knows
combination.
politics
Yeah.
enough?
There's definitely not a combination of those two
Yeah.
things for there to be anything. It like the threat to Lukashenko is a vague one,
Yeah.
and I think that's possibly also what scares him the most.
Yeah.
Because it could just manifest as anything. But at the moment, yeah, they don't really.
It manifests as Poland.
Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth.
I was about bring them back to.
And they're grandfathered into the EU. Oh no.
Shit.
Just suddenly get Belarus.
Oh no.
They're doing
Ages of Empire, huh?
Yeah.
That's
That's it. That's all I got.
That's our weekly Corner Späti. If you like the show, give us some money on Patreon. Patreon.com/Corner Späti. And the theme song is made by Melty Brains. They're actually working on a new album at the moment in West Cork. Their Instagram is a good follow. Anyway, we will see you all next week.
Bye bye.
Ciao.